But we start with the latest updates regarding the Sewol-ho ferry disaster. The number of confirmed dead has now surpassed the 200 mark 2 weeks after the sinking. And as of this Wednesday morning, more than 90 people remain unaccounted for. More bodies were retrieved overnight despite poor tidal and weather conditions at the accident site. For more on this and other updates, let's connect to our Connie Lee, who's standing by in the news centre. Connie.
Good morning, Mark. Well, the total number of people confirmed dead now stands at 210 people at this point. Search officials and divers retrieved a dozen bodies late Tuesday, and early this morning, 5 more bodies were recovered. Officials say most of the victims were found in the lobby of the 5th floor of the sunken ferry, or an area that was not expected to have that many passengers. What we do know is that most of the retrieved bodies were male students from Tanwon High School, or where most of the passengers were from. As of now, search officials say they've gone through more than half of the 64 rooms or compartments where the missing passengers are believed to be. There are 92 people still unaccounted for.
Yes, and Connie, you said most of the passengers are found on the 5th floor. That's an area where they didn't expect to find anyone. Why do you think that divers found a lot of bodies there?
Well, as you remember, Mark, the search and recovery process mostly focused on the 4th floor because most of the students from Tanwon High School stayed in cabins on that floor. But officials themselves were surprised to see many bodies on the lobby's 5th floor. According to the commander of the recovery operation, he thinks the students from the 4th floor attempted to escape from the washing waters by going up to the other floor.
As the water started coming in, instantly, the students probably rushed to the upper floor.
And looking at a mock-up blueprint of the ship, the lobby, or where most of the latest bodies were found, is right by the stairwell. So it does make sense that students who were inside their cabins on the 4th floor try to escape the waters rushing in by making their way up the stairs and onto the 5th floor. But unfortunately, they were not able to get out. And officials say they have now expanded their search area to look more intently on the 5th floor. Mark?
Well, it's just awful to imagine the terror those students must have felt in those moments trying to get up to the 5th floor. And this sort of massive tragedy could have been avoided with an alert or an alarm of some kind to tell the passengers to get off the ship. And I hear there's been another miscount, this time regarding the total number of crew on board.
You're exactly right. Well, first of all, latest investigation shows that the number of crew on board has been incorrect again. You know, there has been a lot of change in numbers since day one of this incident. According to authorities, 33 crew members were actually on that sunken ferry instead of 29 as originally reported. The additional 4 crew members were part-time workers on that ferry, and it looks like they actually had tickets to get onto that ship. Now, with this latest confusion, though, there's speculation now that there may be even more crew members not taken into account.
Yes, it's a real shame there's still confusion 2 weeks after this awful tragedy. And what's the latest on the investigation into the crew members?
Well, as you know, all 15 surviving crew members responsible for navigating the ferry are now in custody and are facing charges, including negligence and abandoning passengers. Investigators are now looking into phone logs of crew on that sinking ferry and the ferry's employer, the Cheongjin Marine Company. Prosecutors say that multiple crew members on that ferry communicated about 7 times by phone with employer officials when the ship was listing. Now, the first call was made around 9 a.m., just minutes after the ferry reported its first distress call to Coast Guards. And the last call by a crew member to its employer was made around 9:40 a.m. Now, investigators are looking into why the calls were made and what the conversations were about.